To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Helping you along the way. Helping you to make it through another day. Yeah. Everything you need to know that you never knew, that you need to know. Lockhart Perspective.
Welcome to the Lockhart Perspective, the headlines with a voice. Today we are looking at liars. Listen, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, and I'm not about to sit here and lie. I waited specifically for this situation to come to a head before I addressed it. When I first heard the story, some of the things did not sound right to me. You have an Anglo child, white baby, walking down the highway, and you call 911. Now, the 911 was finally released today. Now, you may have heard it beforehand. Today was the first day I had ever heard it with regards to the Carlee Russell situation. I'm here in Alabama, and that neck of the woods, that area I used to live in. So the Hoover area, very familiar with it, very familiar with the highway. It just did not seem right to me that there would just be one lone individual stopping on the highway, or not even stopping, but calling somebody. Now, today we're going to look at some of the lies that have been told that have harmed all people, not just Black folks. But I got to get with you today, Black people, because there have been a lot of lies that have been told. For years and years and years, what we hear from our community as a reason why they cannot make it and the reason why they cannot be successful is because of the white man. The white man has been painted as the boogeyman. I know somebody gonna get mad, but it's all right. Don't get mad, get right. So the white man has been painted as the boogeyman. The white man has been painted as the reason why you can't succeed, the reason why you don't have any money, the reason why you can't purchase a home, the reason why you need reparations. But I submit today that there have been several people that we have looked at in the media. There have been several clergy. There have been several instances. And today we're only going to look at 3 for the sake of time. But there have been several people who have been the reason why you really don't get the attention that you feel you need in the media. Now, we all know in the media that there are certain situations that they will cover as it relates to people of color. And I'm using people of color because, well, that's what you use. But just recently, Alabama showed out in great scale. I mean, they just showed out. You had Hoover, Alabama involved. You had the entire state police involved. You even had FBI involved, and you lied. Now, I know that the Hoover police have not been able to reach Carlee, that her mother and her father, which is a video that we are going to look at together in concert, have stated that, well, she just feels like she can't talk right now. No, sister girl, I'm going to tell you something. You need to talk, because there was a TikToker who came out. I'm going to give her credit too. Early this morning, there was a TikToker who came out and stated, hey, this ain't what you think it is. She even confessed that she did not want to have to report this, but she felt it necessary. And I'm going to give her shout out as we look at all of these. But the first thing that I want to do is take a time capsule back to one Al Sharpton and the case of Tawana Brawley. In 1987, Tawana Brawley, through Al Sharpton, came out and said that she was viciously raped, or graped, as people like to say, because they don't want to use that word. The Tawana Brawley case was surrounding a woman, or a young girl, 15, who stated that this terrible situation happened to her. And of course, it got national outrage because of the age of the child, because the girl stated that they had carved, all kinds of foul things in her body, and they had done all kind of terrible things, and only to find out that it was not true. Now, what I'd like to do is fast forward to the top of this year, 2023, and we're going to look at Al Sharpton as he basically says, when asked, would you take it back? Absolutely not, he answers. Unbelievable. Let's go on ahead and we're going to present it, and I'm going to share it with you guys. He doubles down here in an interview. This was and is Tawana Brawley. Tawana Brawley is the woman, or the young girl, now she's a woman, who stated that she was raped, that she had, listen, there are so many words you cannot use, but I'm just going to be real with y'all today. This gal lied, okay? She said some men did something to her that they did not do. These people suffered publicly and privately because of the lies that were told and later promulgated by one Al Sharpton. Here we go. Now, this was an interview that was done not long ago. There's an emaciated Sharpton who claims that now, well, the reason why he's so emaciated was because, well, you know, he's a vegan. All right. So Reverend Al Sharpton doubled down on the controversial accusations that he made in the notorious 1987 Tawana Brawley case as a guest on PBS show Firing Line. Let's take a gander, shall we?
Of course, you know that the case is the case of Tawana Brawley.
Right.
Of course, she was at the time, a 15-year-old girl who alleged that she was kidnapped and repeatedly raped by 6 white men, including by law enforcement officers.
We are not going to let this girl be the scapegoat of a corrupt system.
You served as an advisor to her family, and throughout the grand jury investigation, which ultimately found her story to be a hoax. The recent film, you say to the camera that your position in the case has been distorted.
First, what am I apologizing for? Believing 2 lawyers that had just helped to win the case in Howard Beach. So I should apologize. I shouldn't believe them. Should I apologize for believing the Central Park 5 who was exonerated? So tell me what an apology would sound like.
35 years later, nothing has changed for you.
I think I've answered that.
So the Tawana Brawley allegations shocked the whole entire nation, and Sharpton repeatedly defended his position on the Tawana Brawley case, despite having no information to prove that his allegations or the young lady's allegations were true or were honest or were accurate. Once they found that the story was an unbelievable hoax, of course, as any narcissist would, he doubled down and stood in his square. He stood in his square. Now, the problem with that is that he was and is a quote unquote Black activist. And that's where you find the trouble. I call them ambulance chasers, because this situation right here turned the 80s upside down. It was at the latter part of the 80s when everybody usually, what we were doing in the 80s is, you know, we all listened to Oingo Boingo. We all listened to, we all listened to Billy Idol. We all listened to Chaka Khan. We all listened to Whitney Houston at the very tail end of the 80s. We all listened to good stuff. We were all actually a little bit more united, although I know there may be some situations that each person may have in their own personal life that would divide them, white from Black and vice versa. But for the most part, this came at a time where we really didn't need any extra trouble. We really didn't want any divisiveness. We were really just trying to make our way. And it seems that every single time we here in the States decide that we're going to just lay down our rocks and just worry about ourselves, there seems to be an issue. Now, there is another story that I brought you guys the other day when I shared with you on the thumbnail, and I'm not even sure if people paid attention to it, but if you did, you can leave it down in the chat. But in that thumbnail, I told you that this individual was an actor. I didn't cover this story. The reason why I didn't, because I knew off rip something wasn't right. See, the difference between folks in the Midwest, maybe, okay, because I've lived there before, and the folks out west, because I've lived there before too. But the folks that's here in the South, it does not matter what color the child is. Somebody gonna pull over, and you're gonna hear more than one phone call that was shrouded until today that stated there was a baby. It didn't have to be a white baby, purple baby, pink baby. It don't matter what color baby it is. Somebody said there was a baby, but only one somebody was the person to call. No other calls came in. So that right there sent a red flag to me. Then another thing I started to do was I started to say, okay, well, let's just put 2 and 2 together. And I started to put my hat on. I put my tinfoil fedora on, baby. I put on my tinfoil hat, y'all. You know I did. And what did I start to do? I started to look. I said, okay, well, how many private aviation, how many private airports are there in that area? So I started digging. I said, okay, there's 96. Then I started to dig about, any incidents or any other stuff that may have happened in that area, because I'm going from a different angle when I start to investigate a story. But nothing seemed to pan out until today. I'm going to show you guys this young lady's page, and she is from TikTok. It's a TikToker. She sure did. Somebody sent it to me this morning, early in the morning. Okay. And they said, I just hope that this is not true. I just hope that this is not true. And they were accurate in their assessment of hope. Okay. Here is a video on TikTok, which is undoubtedly, let me say this. I believe that because this TikTok circulated so quickly, the police, who were obviously trying to really piece together the story, put everything together and try to figure out exactly what they needed to do, how would they move forward, and all of this other stuff. I believe that what ended up happening was, because of this TikToker's revelation, they had no other choice but to try to get in front of it as the best that they could. Because I'm sure, based on what this TikToker says, about 50 people who had lost their gig because they just could not stand the lie. And so they started to tell other people. Well, you know how it is when gossip gets to spread. One person tells, and then somebody else tells, and somebody else tells. And next thing you know, it's a big brouhaha. Well, apparently Hoover decided, let's just get in front of it and have our press conference today. But I do also want to look at the body language of the mama, the body language of the daddy. I want to look at all of that. We're going to first look at the TikTok, then we're going to look at the parents, because mama knew something wasn't right and daddy was just trying to co-sign. This young lady's page is called Black Home Educators. Black Home Educators. And I'm using this by way of fair use. All of my links to fair use and everything else is down below inside of the description. This young brave woman decided to come out. She says, if true, she should be charged. Ladies, stop running behind men. Telltale sign. She says, ladies, stop running behind men. There's a mental health crisis in our country. Hashtag Carlee Russell. This woman, let's just get into it, shall we? Come on.
So we've all been talking about the Carlee Russell case. This is her Instagram, Carlee. Over the last few days, she shocked the nation, and Black women all over the country felt empowered. We felt finally pleased that America was caring about Black women. Every national news outlet was reporting about Carlee Russell. This is the first time this has ever happened. The hunt was on to find this Black girl. But then when she showed up at our house, it got a little greasy. Why did it get a little greasy? Because she just showed up. So then that's when the world got divided. Wait, what's going on? Something is not right here. Okay, we don't want to speak. We want our privacy. Something is going on. What is going on? Well, when you start talking about something, people start DMing you the truth. It looks like 50 people from Hoover have already got fired for leaking what's really going on with this case. And it's trickled into my DM. So you mean to tell me all this was because she was trying to get back at her ex-man? Yeah, that boyfriend that spoke out about her being kidnapped and held and tortured. Yeah, that was her ex-man. And he actually cheated on her with a stripper. And Carlee had it out with the stripper. And to get back at him, yeah, she disappeared herself. And then got afraid when it blew up. This is what Carlee said to the side chick. Itch, please. He told me everything you said about me, and you thought I told him to say that. I wasn't even with him. You're delusional AF if you think y'all little conversation was.
And we are going to stop in because this is fair use, and we're simply going to make a comment on it. The young lady is absolutely right. As you can see, the young lady who belongs to this page, she did say, hey, you know what? Yeah, there's a lot of people that lost their gig because of this. And so she probably felt like, hey, I think I need to bring this up because people are losing their job. This girl did not realize, based on this story, and then based on what we're going to look at in a few minutes, how much and how far reaching her lies were really going to go. Let's watch.
Was anything more than convenience, and the fact that he used you to get back at me out of anger. You want to talk about I don't compare to you on your worst day? Girl, bye. You're miserable, or at least should be, being a stripper to provide for a child I've heard you've had from multiple people. So not surprised you don't know who your baby daddy is. Mention me or contact my NIGGA again, and you'll see I'm not the one to play with. You don't want you and your whole family touched. You're poor. I'm rich. You're a stripper. I'm a nurse. You're ugly. I'm beautiful. You could never. You're the bottom of the barrel. Someone from the police department just could not watch us all suffer. So they released these details. Here's the update. She's sticking to the story that she was abducted. She says she was lured into the woods by some people who live in the woods, described as a person with orange hair, balding on top, tied her up and drove her around and put her in an 18-wheeler and fed her cheeses for 2 days, and they painted her nails. They kept her on 150 somewhere, and somehow she managed to get away and run through the woods to her neighborhood until she got into her house and then goes into the hospital. Hoover got some Ring doorbell footage from her neighborhood, and it just shows her walking casually until she gets close to her house, and then she starts sprinting and flailing arms and acting a fool. She got caught stealing from work that day, failed out of nursing school, and has been on drugs. She had her friend behind her, and that's who picked her up. She was with her friend all weekend. The police knew she was safe because she unblocked her ex while she was quote unquote abducted. She planned to disappear and realized it wasn't going to work. What up, Nurse Gang? What up, TikTok? So the update,
All right, so you guys heard that
Nurse Gang, what up? What up, Nurse Gang? What up?
You guys heard it from her channel. You heard it from her page. And I want you guys to make sure that you go over and that you support her channel. If you guys are into TikTok, I have a TikTok, but I don't have but 2 videos over there because I just can't seem to get myself to deal with TikTok. But there's a couple of telling pieces that was in this. One, she's chasing after a man. And do you guys remember I put up a small short from 5 years ago that said, stop running after these men? Now, there is a lot of stuff that a lot of standard folks do not know. And that is, there are a lot of secrets that are in our community that are part of our problem. And we, of course, as you guys have all seen, like to reach out and say that it's other people. But no, there's a lot of mental health issues that people don't want to deal with. There are a lot of health challenges that folks don't want to deal with. And just recently, when I put that video, it's actually a short on Headlines of the Voice, and it's a full video on the Lockhart perspective. The deal is there's a lot of stuff that when you see the buds and you see the leaves, but you don't see the roots. The root is the fact that a lot of people suffer from all different kinds of issues, whether it be, separation anxiety, or maybe they had an issue, but they don't face the issues. And in the Black culture, they ain't facing nothing. I want you guys to take a look at the mama. And I do want you to pay attention to the father's body language. Now, I'm not sure if this is her birth daddy. I'm not sure if this is her stepdaddy. None of that has been disclosed to me because, again, I've been standing back, waiting for this day to come. But I will tell you that if the mother is any indication as to why the daughter is the way that she is, I submit it is an accurate situation because the mother's doing all the talking and the father's sort of sitting back consoling her. Again, could be stepfather, I don't know. But let's take a look at the interaction between the mother and between the father, as well as take a look at the person that's interviewing. Okay, this right here is the mother and the father talking, and I want to try to get it right up there. I want to just get it right here. Okay, let's go here. This comes from News Nation. All right, it's News Nation, and again, the link to this will be down below in the description. A joy to be around, the family of the missing Alabama woman says. Here we go.
She is she's just a joy to be around.
Pay attention.
A genuine person, a loving person, always trying to help, always trying to help people wherever she can. She is human. She is human, but she has a love for God. She knows who her Savior is, And that's pretty much who Carlee is. She has a promising future. She's a hard worker.
Did that woman just say that her child was human and then double down with she is human? See, I'm going to tell you something, because I had a lot of different parts of my thinkery. I had a lot of little bells and whistles that was going off over the past this morning, because I'd listened to a couple of different things. But there's some stuff that we'll probably never know. Let me just put it that way. Let's go ahead and continue to listen. But what does she mean by that? She is human. She is a human. Let me go back. Let's see if we can find that part.
That's pretty much who Carlee is. She has a promising future. She's a hard worker. And we just want everyone to do everything. She has a promising future. She is human. She is human, but she has a love for God. She knows who.
Why would she say that? Did the CERN send a portal, or is there a portal directly over her house, or where this child was allegedly abducted, and just suck her up and change her and send her back? And now the parents are talking about she is a human. What's really going on? I don't know. But let me tell you what this screams. This screams to me actor. The same thing as it is with that girl over in Dubai. If you pay attention to that thumbnail that I gave you guys the other day, this screams actors. Plural. Look at the daddy. Look at his countenance.
Her savior is. And that's pretty much who Carlee is. She has a promising future. She's a hard worker. And we just want everyone to do everything within their power, no matter how big, how small, to just make this a joint effort so that we can have the victory.
Carlos, talk to me about the response from the community.
It's been fantastic, overwhelming, tremendous.
Because the people in Hoover, Alabama, and the people here in Alabama ain't about that monkey junk. They're not about that mess that everybody is still trying to promulgate even right now today. Now, I'm not saying that there are not some laws that have been put out, because I just got through reading over some stuff from Mississippi that was quite shocking. But I'm not saying that there are not some things that are bad. What I'm saying is, as a whole, all we're trying to do here in Alabama is make our money, take care of our family, so we can get right back into the rest of the rat race the next day. That's it. Nobody is trying to do anything to anybody. People on a Thursday night, and I did look up the gematria on the date too. I'm telling you, I've been all over this thing looking at little bitty pieces that are sort of prompting me to say something ain't right, right? Okay. But ain't nobody trying to play those games here. And that's the reason why you saw so many people fanning out in Hoover. And also what's going on there in Hoover, okay, in the Vestavia Hills area, where there is some decent change. People make some decent money out there, right? Black, white, purple, and indifferent. Don't matter. All right. I'm tired of the games is what I'm saying. But one other thing is they don't need anything coming through their community that can harm anybody who lives in their community. They don't need nothing happening on the highway that is harming a baby or a child. And the fabrication that this girl, the fabricated story that this chick gave, is off the chain. She even described a bald-headed Mr. Naranga. Let's go.
Out of this world. We can't say enough about the support that the community has given us, the love that they've shown to our family. Our friends, our community, our church family, people we don't know, different organizations, local, state organizations. It's just been fantastic and unwavering, and we want it to continue.
I think what troubles people the most with this is that it was clear, by all accounts, that she was being a good Samaritan. She saw a kid by itself, and she's like, wait a minute, something's not right here. Let me pull over. What was that call like? What can you tell us?
Well,
pay attention.
She was talking to our son's girlfriend on the phone. She told her that it looks like there's a little child on the side of the road that looks like a small toddler. And she told her, don't get out the car. And she said, I'm going to pull over and call 911 or call 911. She put her on hold, called 911, and she clicked back over and told her that 911 was, or that the police were on the way. And the next thing our son's girlfriend heard was Carlee asking the child if they were okay.
But did
So
she hear the child respond?
evidently got out the car. She asked the child if they were okay, maybe 2 or 3 times. She didn't hear a response from a child on the other end, and she did hear a scream, and then she could tell there was maybe some type of shuffling, and the phone dropped to the ground. And from there, all she could hear was background noise. By that time, she was coming into the room to alert myself and my son what had just transpired. She kept the line open. She didn't hang up. I was yelling Carlee's name. We were all yelling Carlee's name. I picked up my phone to call Carlee's phone, just even though I knew that line was open with our son.
Pay very close attention, because she said, I want you to pay close attention, because when you hear what the police officer has to say, it's going to be some contradiction here. All right? There's some contradiction going on, but I want you to listen. Pay close attention to what she said about the telephone. Let's go.
Son's girlfriend, it was just like, I just felt, I felt I needed to try to do something to try to reach her, since she wasn't answering us when we were calling her name, and all we could just hear was like background noise. And from there, I came and got my husband from the bedroom and told him a brief synopsis of what had just transpired. We needed to throw on some clothes and go to her location. We do share our location through Life 360. And so it was pinging that she was at a particular street. However, when we got there, we did not see her car. And what we realized once the police came to where we were is that because her car was on the interstate, it was pinging at the street we went to, because that street was right behind and below that interstate 459.
Talitha, I know that this remains an active investigation. We will continue to share that information here at News Nation. Talitha Russell, Carlos Russell, thank you so much for joining us. And we are definitely keeping Carlee in our thoughts and prayers for a safe return home.
Okay, so now they kept her in the prayers for, we just hope that everything is okay. Meanwhile, I'm going to tell you what was going on in the Black community, okay? You had everybody and their mama up in arms. Oh, I'm so glad that they finally, started to alert everybody that Black folks are missing. And here's the reason why. I have to tell the truth across the board. A few years ago, as a matter of fact, it was 2000. Hey, Flow State. As a matter of fact, it was 2012 when I asked a couple of questions on my radio podcast. And the question was, what's really going on in Chicago? That was one question. And I'm sure if you look it up on Blog Talk, you should be able to find it. But nonetheless, that was a question. And then I also did a show that dealt with how many people were missing that were Black in Virginia. And it was the highest, because of how small it is compared to every place else. The highest per capita were missing. And there were young teenagers and young Black women. Well, a lot of the times that we saw, a lot of people were not seeing those numbers statistically. We weren't seeing them in the news. We weren't seeing them on, we see them on the back of the milk carton or whatever, but they weren't seeing them. So I'm going to be fair, and I'm going to say, yes, we have noticed that. We have. However, to use that to your advantage, or to use it ignorantly, to do what she did in an ignorant fashion without thinking, just doing what she wanted to do. And here's the thing. She was thinking and she wasn't thinking. She was thinking on a selfish level. Because as Deborah just said in the chat, this chick was looking up all kinds of things. She was looking up everything that you could think of as it relates to having her get out, a way for her to get out. Tell you something, sister, you would have been better to stay gone. Let's go ahead and take a look at the afternoon's mystery, what do you want to call this? This is the Hoover Police Press Conference. And this is I'm going to tell you something. I don't know this man, but I'm going to tell you something on another note. This little fella is so sharp. He clean. I mean, he don't care. I don't know what color this suit really is, because, sometimes royal blue ends up looking purple. And another, dark blue, light blue ends up looking purple or teal or green or something else. But anyway, this sharp little cat. Let's take a look at this fella right here. All right, so this is from WFLA News Channel. Again, the attributes will be down below in the description once we are finished. We're using this specifically for me to review it and for me to give my response to it and for me to have my commentary on it, which is completely within the respect of the law. Fair use. Let's get into this. Tragic is tragic. This is going to be a little longer, so I will be breaking in every now and again to sort of break it up so that the algorithm don't think I'm trying to steal nothing, because I ain't. This ain't mine.
Besides me stands the team who played a significant role in this investigation. I want to thank our department, members of surrounding local law enforcement agencies, the FBI, Secret Service, United States Marshals, and ALEA for their assistance in this case. We said from the evening of July 13th, our focus would be the safe return of Carlee Russell. That occurred on Saturday, July 15th, approximately 49 hours after she called 911 and disappeared. From that point, our focus has been to determine Carlee's whereabouts during that time and what exactly took place. Let me say up front, this investigation is not over. We're still working this case, and we'll work in this case until we uncover every piece of evidence that helps us account for the 49 hours that Carlee Russell was missing. However, through the public interest, and in some cases, public fear that this story has generated, we owe it to our citizens to tell them the facts that we have uncovered. So I will give you the facts that we know today. On July 13th, at approximately 8:20 p.m., Carlee left work from a business at the Summit. Surveillance video from her place of employment shows Carlee concealed a dark-colored bathrobe, a roll of toilet paper, and other items belonging to the business prior to her departure. She ordered food from Taziki's at the Colonnade and traveled there. She then traveled to Target on 280, where she purchased some granola bars and Cheez-Its. From there, she remained in the parking lot at that shopping center until 9:21 p.m. when she drove to I-459. Carlee communicated on her cell phone with individuals known to her while on her path of travel up to the point of calling 911 at 9:34 p.m. And at this time, we will play the 911 call in its entirety.
Listen to this 911 call. Everything is answered and responded with a question. She responds everything with a question. So Carlee was undoubtedly lying and making stuff up as she goes along. Listen closely. Liar, liar, pants on fire. That's all I got to say. She just lying. Lying. Young and an idiot.
Walking by themselves. Hold on. Where am I supposed to hurry? I'm right next to this exit 10 by the Silver Meg, like to get off by the Silver Meg. Okay, so you're before that exit? Yes. Okay, and were you headed southbound or northbound? Okay, towards Tuscaloosa or towards 280? Towards Tuscaloosa. Okay, and was the child on the left or right side? On the right side. Were they walking northbound or southbound? They're walking towards Tuscaloosa. Walking southbound. Or how old do they look? Like a toddler, like maybe like 3 or 4. Did you pull over with them? Are you still with them? Yes. Okay, are you with the child right now? No, I'm not. I didn't get out of the car. I can see them though. Do you mind staying and keeping an eye on them until we get there? Yeah, sure, yeah. Okay, what kind of car are you in? I'm in a red Mercedes-Benz. Is it a sedan or SUV? SUV. I mean, it's a sedan. Sorry. Can you put your hazards on for me? Yeah, they're on. Okay. Did you talk to the child at all, or did you say anything to them? No. Okay. No. Do they look like they're injured? No, they don't. Are they white, black, Hispanic, or Asian? They're white. Okay. Is it male or female? I think it's a boy, a little boy. White male? Okay, so is he wearing clothes? Yes. Okay. What is he wearing? It's a white t-shirt, and it doesn't look like he has any pants on. It looks like a diaper. And you don't see any cars anywhere? No cars anywhere. Okay. All right. What's your name? My name is Carlee Russell. And you don't see any injuries on the child from where you're at, correct? No, but I can't really see them that good. Okay, try to keep an eye on them for the best that you can, because I don't want you to lose track of them. Okay. All right, and do they have shoes on? No. Shoes? Not that I can see. I can't really see that. Okay. All right, I've got them on the way, okay? Just try to keep an eye on them, but officers are on the way, okay? Okay, thanks. Thank you. Okay, bye.
Carlee called a relative after speaking with the 911 operator. She went missing during that conversation sometime after 9:36 p.m. Traffic camera footage was obtained, which depicted this portion of the incident, and that footage was analyzed as part of the investigation.
Pay close attention, because they've had this all along.
And cell phone data to accurately determine the time frame. Carlee's 911 call remains the only report of a child on the interstate, despite numerous vehicles passing through the area at that time. No one has called to report that a child is missing, and the Hoover Police Department did not locate any evidence of a small child walking down the interstate. Data from Carlee's phone, including her Life 360 app, shows that she traveled approximately 600 yards in her vehicle while she was on the phone with 911, stating that she was following a child. 600 yards. That is 6 football fields straight, 600 yards. The Hoover 911 Center received a second call.
That's a long distance for a baby to walk.
A relative was on the phone with her when they heard Carlee scream, and then they had an open phone line. Hoover police officers arrived on the scene within 5 minutes.
Wait a minute. Let's talk about that, because I do have to interject each time so that I can break up the audio. But let me just ask this question. Can you imagine a baby walking the length of 6 football fields and some woman just following behind it? And again, nobody called? 6 football lengths, and nobody picked up the phone to say, I'm noticing a very odd and suspicious behavior. There is a vehicle following a toddler. It is a white baby with a t-shirt and a diaper only, and there is a vehicle that is following this baby. Moreover, wouldn't somebody pull way up and stop and then call the popos? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. They would. So this little heifer done got all kind of stuff started. Let's continue.
Minutes of being dispatched, and several other officers arrived shortly. They located Carlee's wig and cell phone in the grass near the vehicle. Her purse was located in the front seat of her vehicle with her Apple Watch in the purse. The food she ordered for Tzatziki's was also in the car. The items she purchased from Target, as well as the items taken from her place of employment, were not in the vehicle, nor were they located anywhere around the
And she's
scene.
a thief.
Hoover police deployed all available assets from the point in the search for Carlee. Additional resources were called in to include our own drone unit, crime scene investigators. Numerous detectives responded to the scene. Throughout the day Friday, officers from surrounding local and federal agencies assisted Hoover police in the search for Carlee Russell. Officers returned to the scene on 459 to conduct a thorough line search for evidence. K-9 teams from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department responded to check for any sign of Carlee, the child that she claimed to see, and anything else that could be considered evidence in this case. Those searches all turned up empty. Private citizens, including search parties organized by her family, friends, began looking everywhere that they could to find any trace. These searches took place throughout the day Friday and again on Saturday, yielding nothing. At 10:44 p.m. on July 15th, the Hoover 911 Center receives a call from Carlee's residence stating that she returned home on foot. In subsequent investigations, detectives obtained surveillance footage of Carlee walking.
Do you see that? These people know what they're doing. I need everybody that's watching right now to do me the biggest favor you could possibly ever do, and that is to please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. More people need to hear this. More people need to know about this. More people need to know that this lady was egregious in the things that she did. She was very selfish. She was very narcissistic. She did not care who she was hurting. She did not care about the people who was losing sleep. She did not care about the community at large. She did not care about her job that she stole from and undoubtedly lied to. On many occasions, this girl was at the end of her rope and had nothing else to do but to lie. Please hit that like button, you guys. Hit the like button for me, please. Thank you.
walking down the sidewalk alone prior to arrival at her residence. She was conscious and speaking with paramedics when she was transported to UAB. Detectives were able to obtain a brief statement from her prior to being treated and released. During the statement, she told detectives that while traveling down the interstate, she saw a baby walking down the side of the road and called 911. She stated when she got out of her vehicle to check on the child, a man came out of the trees and mumbled that he was checking on the baby. She claimed that the man then picked her up and she screamed. She stated he then made her go over a fence. She claims he then forced her into a car, and the next thing she remembers is being in the trailer of an 18-wheeler. She stated that the male was with a female. However, she never saw the female, only hearing her voice. She also told detectives she could hear a baby crying. She told detectives the male had orange hair with a big bald spot on the back. She said she was able to escape the 18-wheeler and fled on foot, only to be captured again and then was put in a car. She claimed she was then blindfolded, but was not tied up because the captor said they did not want to leave impressions on her wrists. She said that they took her into a house and made her get undressed. She believes they took pictures of her, but she does not remember them having any physical or sexual contact. She stated the next day she woke up and was fed cheese crackers by the female. She said the woman also played with her hair, but could not remember anything else. At some point, she was put back in a vehicle she claims was able to escape while it was in the West Hoover area. She told detectives she ran through lots of woods until she came out near her residence. During this interview,
hold on. So she said a man with orange hair and a bald spot at the top. A man with orange hair and a bald spot at the top. See, this is the piece that tells me crisis actor. That's just me. See, that's what I'm saying. This story has tentacles that are far-reaching. This story has tentacles that are far, far-reaching for me. We're going to go back into the story, but I want to thank you guys because you guys responded well. Thank you so much for hitting that like button. You have no idea what it means to the channel. Thank you. A man with orange hair and a bald spot. I'm going to leave that right there. I want you guys to think about what happens when a man does a comb over and who was accused of doing a comb over for a long time. A man with orange hair, Mr. Naranga, until he parted his hair and showed that it wasn't a comb over. He just liked to have that much hair hanging in the front. Something ain't right, y'all. I don't know what it is. Yes, I do, because there's another story that I'm working on that's going to blow y'all's mind in a minute. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue.
detectives noted that Carlee had a small injury to her lip, and she claimed that her head was hurting. She also had a tear in her shirt. Detectives also noted that she had $107 cash in her right sock. Out of respect for Carlee and her family,
out of respect,
detectives did not press for additional information in this interview and made plans to speak with her in detail after giving her time to rest. Detectives continue analyzing data from Carlee's cell phone that was left behind at the scene. We enlisted the help of the United States Secret Service in conducting this analysis. Part of what data includes several internet searches in the days leading up to her disappearance that I think are very relevant to this case. On July 11th at 7:30 a.m., the term, "Do you have to pay for an Amber Alert?" was searched.
Deborah Johnson just said this, you guys pay attention.
At 1:03 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term, "How to take money from a register without being caught," was searched.
Thief.
On July 13th at 2:13 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term Birmingham bus station was searched.
Crook.
On July 13th, 2:35 a.m., a search for a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville was conducted with a departure date of July 13th. On July 13th at 12:10 p.m., a search for the movie Taken, a film about abduction, was conducted. There were two searches related to Amber Alerts on a computer at Carlee's place of employment, including one regarding the maximum age of an Amber Alert. There were other searches on Carlee's phone that appeared to shed some light on her mindset, but out of respect for her privacy, We will not be releasing the content of those searches at this time. We've asked to interview Carlee a second time, but have not been granted that request. As you can see, there are many questions left to be answered, but only Carlee can provide those answers. What we can say is that we've been unable to verify most of Carlee's initial statement made to investigators, and we have no reason to believe that there is a threat to the public safety related to this particular case. Thank you very much.
So they have no reason to believe that there is any public safety threats at this time. So that means they already know that this thing stinks to high heaven. They already know that she's a liar. They already know that she is a thief. Okay? Because what did she steal from the job? She wanted to know how to take money from a register. She also took a robe. She also took toilet paper. Listen, as a human resources manager, I have sat down in front of people who have taken too many pens at one time, and the manager got upset because the box of pens were gel pens and they cost $15 a box, and we kept billing their department back. How about that? So they said, hey, no, I know who it is. They're taking them out by the box load. They're taking reams of paper by the box load. You're a thief, and if you lie to me, if you're thieving, if you're stealing, then I know that you're a liar. And this girl, we got to call stuff as it is. And see, that's the problem right now. You got a lot of black folk that was rallying around this girl and not seeing. They saw the obvious. You have any idea how many people are empathic, no matter whether they are black, white, purple, or green? There's a whole lot of people that saw right through this crap, and they continue to promulgate this lie. They knew this girl was lying. A liar and a thief, and it's all over a dude. All over a young man who is out here not married to you, sowing his royal oats. Not to say that it's right or wrong. I'm putting it down here, as my friend girls say, black spring with autumn, right down here where the cows can get it. She's a liar. And as a liar, she is a thief. Because if you lied to me, I know you're going to steal from me. Whether it be intellectual property, whether it be actual property, whether it be ideas, whether it be concepts, whether it be money, whether it be clothes, whether it be the shoes you said you wanted to borrow and give right back, you's a thief. And that's exactly what this girl is a thief. She has stolen from the people of Hoover. She has stolen time from the FBI. She has stolen time from the Secret Service. She has stolen time from the local authorities. She has stolen time and kept mothers up who got kids that they take to a park. Take them to a park and sit down there and watch them play as they sit there and have the only adult conversations they can with other mothers at the park. She has invoked fear, and she should be prosecuted to every extent of the law. To the fullest extent of the law, this heifer need to go to jail. I said it. It was me, my face, me. I said it. Now what? I said it. Looked like a same skin color, and I'm going to call a spade a spade. You can use that term any way you choose, because that's exactly the way that I mean it. Wrong is wrong, and I don't care who does it. Now, Jussie Smollett did the exact same thing. Here's the thing, though. At the particular time when this cat went ahead and started saying, oh, they did this to me, and it was some MAGA people, and it was frozen outside, and it was so cold, and they actually had MAGA hats on in the middle of the cold. Player, seriously, you got some Ku Klux Klan cats in the middle of the cold in Chicago that just so happen to have some chemicals that they're going to toss on you. Let me tell you something. We down here in the South and up there in the Windy City, when you see it's real cold, baby, you can throw hot water and it'll turn to ice and fall to the ground. Trust and believe it will. So you wanted everybody to believe that there was a chemical that could actually withstand the frozen tundras, the frozen tundra of Chicago. Really? You's a liar. You a liar. And for old boy, Mr. Emaciated, that pastor, to sit here and double down in 2023. Look here, y'all. I didn't show you no interview from this cat back in the day, in 1987, when he was doubling down, saying that Tawana Brawley was telling the truth, when he allowed them, the same exact them that's actually weaving and bobbing right now, to put that in his mouth. He did not take it back. He doubled down and said, no, I believe it. I don't have any reason to believe that they would lie to me. Her mama knew. Her mama knows her child, if that's really a real mother. She is human. They really need to prep some of these actors before they put them on TV. But I'm sure they will after I said this. Why? Because I know that they watch the preponderance of us who have thoughts in our head. But my point is, that mama know that her child is a liar. That mother has dealt with her child who is the liar, which is possibly the reason why the child still lived at home and was able to purchase a Mercedes-Benz. She's probably on her last leg. I'm sure if we glanced at her human resources file, we'd see that she had probably been talked to about being late, about being on the phone, about calling people that she wasn't supposed to call on the phone, looking up stuff on the computer. That job should have had her. They should have helped her out the door a long time ago. All they would have had to have done was to have somebody go through all of her search on that work computer. Because I'm going to tell you something. This heifer right here, she is a force to be reckoned with. She is a liar extraordinaire. And so they were probably listening to all these fantastic stories that she was able to give. And they just couldn't, they're probably scratching their head. She took money, how to take money out of a register. That was her search, not mine. How to take money out of a register. She got information about going to see somebody, about going to Tennessee from here, from the Alabama area, which is just a hop, skip, and a jump. Hop, skip, and a jump. All they had to do if they really wanted to get rid of this chick before it brought all the attention on their company, I'm going to tell all of y'all right now, help them out the door. When you see somebody that's telling all these lies, baby, start to document your tail off. If they have started to document, and then have somebody just do a search on her history for that computer, they could have let her out right then and there. You could be gone today, baby. Why? Because, A, you know that if the person is doing all kinds of stuff, stealing time, I call that time theft, right? She's a time thief. She's a robe thief. She a toilet paper thief. The heifer done took toilet paper, y'all. Went to Tzatziki's and got an expensive meal and left that in the car just to make it look real. This girl is a calculating mental patient, and she should be in some place that can help her. There's some type of chasm. There's like a little spot that's missing with this person. 20-something years old and already gone over a dude that ain't even her husband. I'm not saying that you get to go off because it's your husband, because I'm going to tell you right now, there's some dudes in the chat that can tell you right now, their wives that are no good are sending them through, and there's some chicks in the chat right now and who are watching without chatting will tell you that they got some spouses that's off the chain. But this girl has no baby by this dude. Just sat up here and told the other woman how she got everything on the ball. Baby, I got a Mercedes and you have nothing. I'm beautiful and you're not. I'm a nurse. And all you are is a stripper. Stripper probably got a little bit more dignity. See, let me tell you something. Stripper probably don't have that type of sophistication to think about doing something as ignorant as you did while you sit up here and talking about her. She a stripper. But I guarantee you, baby, every dollar she gets, she possibly earned it. That's all I'm going to say. Now, I do want to talk about Jussie Smollett, but before we do, I want to talk about the boyfriend of this young lady, because he was, thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. Please take care of my woman. Let's look at the boyfriend. We're going to come right in on a story that we've already queued up. We may miss it by a couple of seconds, but for the most part, hopefully we'll be able to get it. We may have to back up a little bit. I'm not going to lie. We may have to back up a little bit, but here we go.
Disappearance does remain unsolved. Her family just says they are grateful that she is now back home. Writing on Facebook Sunday, Talitha Robinson Russell said, quote, God is faithful and he has answered our prayers. We are so grateful to each of you for all the acts of kindness, generosity, and compassion you've shown. Our baby is safe. While Robinson Russell says she understands the attention to the case, she did ask for privacy. Quote, please consider the fact we have not slept for 3 nights and we are mentally and physically exhausted. Russell's boyfriend, Thomar Latrell Simmons, also responded to the news on social media saying, quote,
listen carefully.
Thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for saving my girlfriend's life. I have been going nonstop since I received the call that she was missing on Thursday night. I know
that's
she would
what
have done
wanted.
the same for me, so I wasn't going to give up until I saw her face again. Now, the post itself says, I don't even know how to start off this post, but to only say thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for saving my girlfriend's life. Also, thank you to everyone who shared a picture, came out to the Hoover Met to help us with the search parties, and who went and proceeded to tell other people about Carlee to bring awareness to the story. I have been going nonstop since I received the call. I know she would have done the same for me.
Child,
So
she
again,
done,
the investigation into Carlee.
Child, she done scared that boy back to church. Ooh, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Father. Thank you, God. Thank you, Lord. Oh, Heavenly God. Thank you, Jesus. She done scared that child back to church. But at the same time, she has separated him completely from herself. Why? Because don't nobody want to be connected to somebody who kooky crazy. She's crazy as a Betsy bug. And when they cart her tail off to jail, which I hope the people do, I hope the people there in Hoover, the Vestavia Hills area, all up and down the 459 corridor, I hope every single one of them say, arrest her. Why? Because I'm going to tell you something. Had it been reversed, had it been a dude, baby, they wouldn't have taken no for an answer. It wouldn't have been let him rest. Let him get some time. It's been a lot on him. He ain't doing nothing but sitting there figuring out what he gonna lie about next. That's exactly what this chick is doing. All she's doing is sitting up here, putting the pieces together, how she can get up out of this. And they better put her behind on a watch. And you know which one I'm talking about. That's what they better do. They better put, because I'm going to tell you, anybody who would stretch the realm of truth to this direction that she has, baby, I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, this girl need to be put on a watch. Why? Because her mama already knew she was crazy. And if that is the stepdaddy, he knew she was sort of kooky crazy too. Kooky gone. Kooky and gone. Now, sorry, you guys. I get a little heated. The Jussie Smollett case, in case we have not, people don't remember it. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Jussie Smollett, and I get that. I call him Smollett because what's that crazy boy's name that I say is not him anymore? He's a comedian. Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett has been sentenced to 150 days in jail and ordered to pay a fine of $145,000 for lying to the police about being the victim of a hate crime. The hoax incident took place in Chicago in 2019, and he was found guilty of 5 charges in December of 2021 over his false reports of having been attacked. After being sentenced in March of 2022, he said, quote, "I did not do this. It wasn't me," and shouted, "I'm not suicidal," as if somebody was going to try to take that cat out. You kooky. Nobody said you was any of the above, baby. You kooky. The story has taken quite a few twists and turns since it began, the article says. This is it. January 2019, January 29, the alleged incident takes place. This is him on the show Empire. Now, I don't know whether he started to do this because Empire got canceled or was headed to that. I don't know. Hey, Betty R., how you doing, baby? Robert, how you doing? Okay. All right. I don't know, but here you go. Police in Chicago say they're investigating a suspected rapist and homophobic attack of Jussie Smollett by masked men that happened at about 2 a.m. That was during the time that we was having a very cold freeze here in the U.S., and it was even colder in the Windy City, baby. But nonetheless, I digress. Let's continue. They say the actor was punched in the face and had an unknown chemical substance poured on him with a rope around his neck. You know, I'm going to tell you something. You got to be a brother who cannot fight for you to have that much stuff take place to you on a corner of a street. You can't fight at all. You can't push nobody, block nobody, get no skin up under you. No analysis up under the fingernails. Anyway, I would have been fighting, scratching, and pap, and I would have been doing something. But anyway, they say the actor was punched in the face, had an unknown chemical substance poured on him, and a rope wrapped around his neck in Chicago. Would have been so bad, but he added a little bit more. The brother embellished a bit too much. Jussie Smollett told the police that the two attackers also made a reference of MAGA in the middle of Chicago at 2 a.m. in the morning. Make America great again, the slogan often used by President Donald Trump and his supporters. He goes to a doctor and police describe his condition as good. January 30th, 2019, an outpouring of support from the celebrities. Why? Because they're all actors, and they don't believe that this actor was acting until they look like an idiot after this cat said, you know, hey, yeah, he did this to me, they did that to me, and da-da-da. Here goes some of the dingbats. They had a lot to say. Because, see, I'm going to tell you something. What people don't understand is that Black Hollywood is not regular Black folks. Black Hollywood have they're actors and they can put on a different persona at any given moment. As a matter of fact, they sign over their persona in perpetuity. So when you think you're seeing somebody perpetuity, you better pay attention to that. Don't necessarily have to be that cat. Hence, Jamie Foxx is in a movie right now called The Clone of Tyrone. May want to check it out. I put it over there on my Instagram page, and I just put the actual picture up there of the thumbnail for the show. And people could say, what's this about? I'm like, are you gone? But anyway, I digress. Stars including Viola Davis, Janelle Monáe, and T.I. came out with messages of support for the actor. His Empire co-stars, including Grace Byers and Naomi Campbell, also showed support. Grace Byers said, quote, "This despicable act only shamefully reveals how deeply the hatred, inequality, racism, and discrimination continues to course through our country's veins." Sister girl, you should have held on to every single one of those words that you decided to use. Every single one of them college entrance exam words that you chose to use that came off your SAT page, you should have held off on them, honey, because he's a liar. Now, the Empire creator Lee Daniels posted an emotional video on Instagram saying, quote, "Hold your head up, Jussie. I'm with you." Boy, what a selection of words. Comedian Steve Harvey says, "This is about coming to the aid of another brother that has tasted the brutality of hatred, racism, and bigotry. And right now, he going through some things of himself, his own, I heard, thanks to Tasha K. But anyway, I digress. I don't know nothing. All of that's allegedly. On January 31st, 2019, he refused to hand over his phone. Now, that's a telltale sign, because when you give him your phone, baby, they already know what's in it. They can look and they can see it. They know what's in the phone before they even ask you, because when you sign into these apps, you're giving permission for them to look without you even knowing. So when you did not want to give up your phone, baby, it's because they already knew what you had in it. And he knew too. Dum-dum didn't even use a burner phone. And even if he did, he's Jussie Smollett. They would have found him on a surveillance camera somewhere, because we almost China. There would have been a surveillance camera somewhere showing him pick up the phone. But nonetheless, let's keep going. Jussie Smollett refused to hand over his phone to the police investigating the attack. They wanted it to confirm the details, including the MAGA references made, as the actor says. He was on the phone to his manager at the time. A day later, the police say, quote, "He's a victim. We do not treat him. We don't treat him like a criminal." Police, you know, I'm going to tell you something. Popos be playing a good cop, bad cop all the time. So they make him comfortable. See, we're going to make him comfortable. He's a victim. We don't treat him like a criminal. Just like what old man in that nice suit, that nice jacket that was a little too big from around the neck that I just talked about. Just like he knows something. February the 1st, 2019, Jussie Smollett speaks for the first time. Why? Because he needed the time, just like this girl did, to put the lies together, baby. You got to take all the Legos, because that's really mentally what they're able to play with. They got to take the Legos and put them all together. They got to push them together and make a car, then take off this little piece that looked like a wheel, and then maybe stick something. And now it's a cat, because they don't have no wheels no more. They don't know how to make it. Black queer lives, justice for Smollett. Now, let me ask you something with the holes in his story. How did somebody know that he was going to be coming out at 2-something at night in the morning? And how did they just so happen? Hey, guess what? Got some rope. Got some rope for your behind. Hey, guess what? Got a chemical. Gonna pour it on you. How did they just know? Hey, not only do we got some rope and we got some chemicals, but baby, we got us a MAGA hat. And we white. Because black folk love to run around and say what the white man is doing. And it's lies, because you are the problem. It's you. It ain't no white folks. Them white folks in Chicago was in their bed at that time of the morning. And those who had to work was at work. Those who had to drive those trucks that night that it was frozen cold outside. You run around talking about people had a MAGA hat and some rope. Them people was in them trucks driving all the doggone coal and putting it down there, putting the salt down on the road. They wasn't paying attention to you, but you see, you are just like this girl. You guys have stepped up above certain amounts of people in your own community. See, she said she had a red Mercedes. Why you buy purchase a red? I don't know. But anyway, she said her Mercedes was red. That means something, y'all. I'm telling you, parts of the story, I'm going to roll with it the way that it is. But my spidey senses and my Felix the cat bag, my Fifi the cat bag, telling me there's something in here. But I'm going to leave it alone and just deal with it as what it is. But you guys are just a little bit above the regular folks that's even in your category. If you're a nurse, or if she, like they said, she just got through taking drugs and they claim allegedly she was using that stuff. And on top of that, she had failed out of medical school. So I don't know what she was doing, but nonetheless, let's digress for just a second. Let's just paint the picture. Let's paint the perfect picture. Let's paint the picture perfect. Okay. He was a little ahead of other actors at that time because he had the Empire series, and she's a little ahead of other people because, well, she lives with her mom and them. And she's able to afford the type of car that she wants. And I don't care whether she's combing the YouTube channels right now to see who's talking about her. Because, baby, guess what? It's me. I'm talking. But what they end up doing is they end up promulgating these lies, and people attach themselves to those people. And that makes it worse for every single body who ain't got nothing to do when you go in your house and just turn off. See, she can just turn her head off right now. She ain't got to listen to nothing. All she got to do is go to her room for now until they knock on the door with a warrant. Huh? All she got to do is turn off, not pay attention until they get to the house with the warrant. And baby, let me tell you something about Alabama. They coming. Nonetheless, the actor says that he's okay after the incident. The story continues. In a statement, he says, quote, "The outpouring of love and support from my village. Notice he said the word village. The outpouring of love and support from my village has meant more than I will ever be able to truly put into words." He adds, "I'm working with the authorities and have 100% factual and consistent, and have been 100% factual and consistent on every level because I'm an actor and I can remember lines." The Chicago police released 2 pictures of the people of interest they want to speak to. The chief communications officer, Anthony Guglielmi, says the detectives are taking this development seriously because they already know it was a joke. Now, February 2019, February the 2nd, he says, "I'm the gay Tupacs." At a concert that had been planned for a long time, Jussie Smollett makes some more comments on the incident. Quote, "I'm not fully healed yet, but I'm going to," he says, reading from a piece of paper. He continues, "Just because there's been a lot of stuff said about me, that's absolutely not true." Glancing at the balcony, he adds, "I'm sure my lawyers are sitting up there like, no, Jussie, no, don't speak out about it." He says, "Above all, I fought back. I'm the gay Tupac." He ends. This Negro. Oh, if anything woke 2 packs up, it was this. If anything made him say, huh? It was that phrase. On February the 11th, 2019, the phone records are submitted. Jussie Smollett gives the police a PDF of his phone records after they had originally asked him for his phone, and he refused. But the files are redacted. Some bits of them have been covered up. The police says there's no reason to suspect any wrongdoing from Jussie Smollett and are not even looking at the charges regarding filing a false report because they needed him to be comfortable. They needed him to feel as if he had done all, and they had no reason to believe that he was lying. So good cop, bad cop, public, good cop. He ain't did nothing wrong, y'all. Leave this man alone. We have no reason to believe that he gonna get nice and comfortable and we're gonna come and swoop in. On February 14th, Valentine's Day, persons of interest are arrested by the police. The 2 people of interest are arrested and interviewed by the police, but not charged and not treated as suspects. They are Obanbenjo Ola and Ambimbola Osandario. The brothers originally from Nigeria. They had worked as Empire extras, sometimes going to the gym with the actor, their lawyer says. Some of the items seized from a police raid of their home include a blackface mask, an Empire script, phone receipts, and a red hat, and some bleach. On the same day, an interview with Jussie Smollett is shown on Good Morning America. He suggests the alleged attackers were white, saying, "If I had said the attackers were a Muslim or a Mexican or someone black, I feel like the doubters would have supported me a lot, much more," close quote. On his refusal to hand over his phone, he says, "Well, I have private pictures, because I be busy and stuff. So I got like a lot of pictures, a lot of videos, and a lot of numbers, and I don't want nobody to see them. And I got like private emails and my private songs, my private voice memos, And speaking through tears, he says, "Gay people should learn how to fight these kinds of attackers." And the police say they have no evidence to support the reports of an attack. They got them real comfortable. Girlfriend, if you're watching me, I'm telling you right now, they're waiting for you and your mammy and them to get real comfortable, baby. They're waiting for you to do a whole lot of texting, baby. They're waiting to see who bring you something. If you got that app on your phone where you calling people, tell them to come bring you stuff, you tell them to bring you a bird phone, baby, they already know about that too. So don't even try it. I know you're trying to get out and reach that boyfriend of yours. Okay, that was in love with the stripper. I know you is, but baby, I'm telling you right now, they own you. February 17, 2009, trajectory of the investigation has shifted because we done made this Negro feel real comfortable. And now the police say that they have some developments in this investigation. A day after they released the Osandre brothers without a charge. "Give us all of your information. We want to know. They ask us for everything. Jussie, we could not help ourselves. We had to tell the truth. We are here in this country. We don't want to go home. You're going to get us in a lot of trouble. You lied, Jussie. You lied. We tell them the truth." They say they want to speak to the individual who reported the incident, Jussie Smollett. The actor's lawyers say in a statement, quote, "Jussie Smollett is angered and devastated by recent reports that the perpetrators are individuals that he is familiar with." They add it's impossible to believe that the Osandros could have played a role in the crime against Jussie or would falsely claim Jussie's complicity. On the 20th of February, he had a very busy month. He is charged by the Popos. Chicago police say the actor is charged with disorderly conduct, filing false police report. And earlier in the day, a reporter in the United States obtained footage appearing to show the brothers buying materials, including a ski mask that had allegedly been worn by people who attacked the actor, the people who attacked him. They bought one just like that. And Smollett's lawyers say they will conduct a thorough investigation and mount an aggressive defense and try to figure out how the heck am I going to stop being this cat's lawyer. The rapper 50 Cent, who had previously come out in support of Jussie, posts a picture on Instagram referencing actor's gay Tupac comment. In the picture, he's put Jussie's face over Tupac on the album cover, All Eyes on Me, and changed the album name to All Lies on Me. 50 Cent ain't nothing. 50 Cent a mess. February 21st, 2019, Jussie Smollett is arrested. There you go. I didn't do nothing. What? Can't say nothing. What? That's how he looking, like what it is. Jussie Smollett hands himself over to the police and is arrested. At a press conference, Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson says that Smollett took advantage of the pain and anger of racism to promote his career. He adds that the actor did it because he was dissatisfied with his salary. Police claim that he had also sent a racist letter to himself at a Fox studio and paid the Osandre brothers a check of $3,500 to stage the attack. Fox Entertainment and 20th Century Filmmakers, the makers of Empire, issue a statement regarding the future of Jussie Smollett on the show. And they say, quote, "At this time," they said, "we understand the seriousness of this matter and we respect the legal process and we are evaluating the situation and we are considering our options." President Donald Trump tweets about the incident, that Gemini, calling the actor's comments racist and dangerous, Mr. Naranga. And according to what the police said today, this gal is talking about somebody who has, well, we just said it, a big bald patch inside of his afro. He's got a big bald patch on the inside of his orange afro. That's what she said, Mr. Naranga. She said it's a man with orange hair with a big old hole in the back of it. Listen, we're about to wrap up. And I just want to tell you guys that this stuff is so sad. Some people are paid to do this. Some people just do it because they're trying to get a man. Some people do it because they're trying to get a girl. And I'm going to tell you, the problem is that the mind, once it starts to get wrapped up in its own envelope, that's a dangerous place. That is a dangerous, dangerous place. You don't have anybody outside of you can bounce stuff off of. You don't have anybody else that you can talk to. You have nobody you can talk to? I'm sure you do. If this situation goes the direction that I know that it will, this young lady should be and will be arrested very soon. What her parents should have done was they should have gone, if they haven't already, and got this little liar a lawyer. She needs to tell her attorneys everything and quit with the line that she's in her bedroom right now trying to fabricate all by herself. Hey, blue-eyed, bright eyes, how you doing? Rage Against the Machine, love you both. Red Door Woman, hey, I see you. Cheyenne, SCDHL, all of y'all, love you much, love you. All welcome here. But I guarantee you right now, the issue is that they know their daughter needs help. That mama, especially, like I say, I don't know if that's real daddy or stepdaddy, but nonetheless, that mama know her baby kooky. And that mama know that her baby has been needing some attention for a minute. So with that said, I am very happy that this situation has come to light, but Black folk, you are not off the hook because you are the ones who run with the victim mentality on a constant basis. It is a victim mentality on a constant basis that believes that somebody needs to give you something, to the extent that now you've taken it out of what you have assigned yourself to in this world and some of the plights that they say is yours. And you've now taken that, like this young lady did, as well as the whole Tawana Brawley thing that we looked at earlier, as well as the Jussie Smollett situation. And now you feel like the world owes you something with your narcissistic behinds. Narcissistic, selfish, don't care about nobody's selves. And what it does is it harms the people who are out here trying to do what's right every single day. Again, to me, talking about the black and the white argument, we do know there are some folks that's black that I don't rock with. There are some folks that's white that I don't rock with. But I don't rock with them because of the color of their skin. I don't rock with them because of the content of their character. And they ain't crap. And if you smart me, I'm not dealing with you, whether you're a family member or not. I don't care. If you're a family member and you smart me, I ain't dealing with you. If you're white and you smart me, I ain't dealing with you. If you're Hispanic and you smart me, guess what? Same answer. I ain't dealing with you. I'm not dealing with you, baby. I'm not dealing with you. So please, when you guys see these stories that are divisive in nature, take a seat way back. Start to put them pieces together, because I guarantee you, once you start that, you will see the lie and you'll be able to see who's actually is wielding it. Who's wielding it. Listen, I could go back several stories beyond the Tawana Brawley situation, because most of you guys who follow me and who have been following me for a while know that I do not agree with the entire Rosa Parks situation, because I always say, who had a camera? You didn't have no cell phones. How do we get all these different angles? Wait, stay there before we can, want you to sit there and take a picture from the right side. Oh, perfect. Hold it. Take a picture from the center. Hold on. Go to the side. Take a picture. So like I say all the time, they've been playing these games for the longest time. And you got a lot of these cats and chicks that's still alive. And if it ain't them that's still alive, some of them still got grandkids that's in their 60s. That's still running the same trash that they used to run. Why? Because it works and distraction works. The story that I'm about to show you guys here in the next day or so, if not sooner, is dealing specifically with the reparations. That, baby, you thought the last stuff that I talked about with the reparations was deep. No, that was just California being California. But what is going on is they are excluding themselves. And they know it. All the other states that's doing it, they know it. And I'm going to prove it, and I'm going to show it to you guys. So y'all love each other. Treat each other good, okay? All right. So we're going to get up out of here, and I want you guys all. Let me see who's this. Furious TV says the amazing Lucas is an agent prop 2. See what I'm saying? Seaside Princess. Oh, I was just referencing the RP story. Rest. Okay. All right. Yeah. I don't believe none of that. Rosa Parks story. I don't believe none of that. I don't believe that she was real at all. I believe that she was just like I say, the tactics are the things that are old. It's the tactics, and it's the old cats that's still hanging around, even though they may just hang up their bodies like a meat suit in the middle of the night because they're so old and ancient. V.L. Jones Sr., thank you. Thank you. Frank, what's going on? She was with the communists. Yes, she was. The same as Marcus Garvey. Not only was it Marcus Garvey, but was also Mr. Du Bois. Why? Look who trained them. Look at where they went to school. Look at where they were taught. For those of you guys who want to help out today and you want to give me a couple of bucks, I'm not going to tell you, no, big baby, you can do that right there. Show some support if you have Cash App at Lockhart Perspective on Cash App, or you can hit me up by PayPal. I would surely appreciate even a buck. Listen, you guys take care of yourselves. And remember what we always say. Hey, R. Jones, Mr. and Mrs. M.G. Toe. Remember what we always say on this channel, and that is that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High. I want you guys to take care of yourselves, and then I want you to reach around and take care of somebody else. And then I want you to make sure that you take care of my friend, and my friend is you. Thank you so much. Take care. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Helping you